A major court victory for a small Jewish congregation. A Collin County judge ruled it can continue holding services in a Plano home. And that comes as a disappointment to some of the people who live on that street. Fox 4's Natalie Solis in the neighborhood with reaction to the judge's decision.
Well, Clarice, this has been a divisive issue in this neighborhood for some time as members of that synagogue, or this house essentially right over my shoulder, as they walk in, they are greeted by signs just across the street, "Keep us residential only." But today these congregants are celebrating and settling in for good. Now, the rabbi here says it all started about 2 years ago when he decided to move his congregation, Toras Chaim, from his own house about 2 blocks away to this home on Mumford Court. Now, about 30 families meet here for services throughout the week. The congregation, though, was sued by the president of the neighborhood HOA, who lives across the street. He says the neighborhood has deed restrictions blocking that sort of gathering. The congregation, though, represented by the Liberty Institute, argued it needs a location in walking distance for members because their Orthodox Jewish faith does not allow them to drive on the Sabbath.
We know that we have a future in the neighborhood, and what we want to see now is that the whole neighborhood come together. Jewish, non-Jewish, everybody be friends.
It's a property dispute. It has nothing in particular to do with it being a synagogue. Like I say, it could have been synagogue, could have been a church, could have been a school, could have been a commercial business. Anything would have triggered the same reaction for me.
Now, others who live on the street did not want to speak to us on camera, but they did tell us that they are not happy with this ruling. They say they'd oppose anything that draws traffic and congestion like the congregation often does on non-Sabbath days. Now, despite the decision, the HOA president walked over to shake hands with the Liberty Institute attorneys this afternoon, and the rabbi says he is just relieved and ready to move on from this litigation. Now, the HOA president, who is not an attorney but did represent himself and the HOA in court, I asked about an appeal, and he says that is something that he'll be looking into. Clarice.
Natalie Solis live in Plano. Thanks.